up everyone, I'm Mr. B.
Whoa, Nobby, you better not be doing that video without me.
Hey up everyone, I'm Mr. B.
And me, Lenny G.
And we're here to talk about one of the pre-ordered weapons that you get for pre-ordering Battlefield 5, which is a sniper called the MOSIN Nagant. The sniper with a weird name, whichever one it is. Now this took me a long time to get I think 3 days to get enough footage of actually the gun working properly, because I am the worst sniper on earth. But we managed to get it all together. So if you want to find out whether or not this gun is worth your money, stay tuned. Let's roll.
Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh honey, though our friendship ceases from now on. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh honey, though our friendship ceases from now on.
So when looking at the MOSIN Nagant, we're just going to call it the Mousy. When looking at Mousy, it's the first thing you've got to understand is what kind of category of sniper it fits into. And for me, this sniper fits into the action-jackson type sniper. You know, the one where you've actually got to be on the front lines with it. You can't sit at unless you've got a seriously high fidelity screen where you can see every pixel on there. You can't sit at the back of the map and snipe from it. You've got to be in the faces, 75 meters, that's what it's dialed into, and kicking ass at the front. It comes with two different types of sights. One is your iron sights and one is your radiant sights. Now, the iron sights, for me, are a big problem with this sniper, but we'll get into that later on. When comparing this to different types of snipers, or the classes that it fits into, the closest comparisons are the Label and the two SMLEs, or Smileys, as I like to call it, Smileys or Smellies, whichever one you want. The Smiley Combine and the Smiley Infantry. The closest comparisons are Smiley Infantry, because it is pretty much like for like, and later on I do a comparison between the two so you can actually see why I personally think that this sniper is not worth it. And I think it's nice to have it in your inventory, but my god, is there better weapons out there, especially considering ones that you get right at the beginning of the game if you just bought the vanilla and nothing else, none of the DLCs or anything. So look at the stats. Obviously, like I said, it's dialed in at 75 meters. That's its optimal range. It has a good impact, but not brilliant. Like I said, the stats are pretty much comparable to the Smiley Infantry. So without any further ado, we're going to get into the gameplay side of it and see how this thing actually handles. Let's get into it. Okay, so gameplay wise, to prove a point, I tried to get a few long ranges, you know, plus 150 meters. And although you can get hits with it, the chances of you actually killing a target plus 150 meters is slim. Purely, obviously, there's no real zoom on the sights. You can get 2 times magnification, but it really is nothing. And even when you're up close, you've got 3 hopes. One of them is to get the headshot. Now, if you are good at getting headshots, then up close sniping with this, you won't have a problem. Getting headshots for me, however, is a bit of an issue, so I had to lean on the other 2 hopes. One of them was that I could reload the gun fast enough to get a second shot into the body, or I have got a squad member nearby to get me the ACAC.
What the bloody hell's an ACAC?
The ACAC, you know what ACAC is?
I'm pretty sure I don't.
You know, ACAK?
Yes, I can spell, thank you.
Assist counts as kill?
You made that up, didn't you? You made that up to make yourself sound clever, didn't you?
Fine. Alright, I've made that one up. To get the assist counts of kill. Shut up, you.
No bad.
Why did I ever bring you up to this? Anyway, if you don't get that ACAC, or if I don't get that ACAC, I am screwed, because the reload speed certainly ain't quick enough to reload. You're not gonna. If you can get those, you know, those really quick headshots. If you're up close and you're within that 75 or 50 meter range, and you're one of these people, 360 no scope, bro. If you're one of them, you're not gonna have a problem with this weapon. Me personally, because I always go for center mass. It's just the way I've always been used to using snipers. If I'm going for center mass and I'm not going for the headshot instantly, I lose a lot of the one-on-ones with this weapon because of its main problem. It's not powerful enough. I should be, if I'm at 50 meters or 25 meters or 30 meters, I should be one-shotting. Center mass, one shot, bang. But it's not. It's just not powerful enough for those sort of ranges. It's certainly not powerful enough for anything above 150. You've really got to be dialed into that 80 to 100 meters for you to get the most out of this weapon. The biggest problem of all, taking into account its slow reload time, taking into account that I can't get the headshots, its biggest problem is the sway on it. It is unreal. Now, I know you're supposed to press L3 to hold your breath to make it steady, but I always forget that. You've got to be stood bound still for you to get your shots off, because the second you move forward, left or right, or any direction at all, the gun sways a good ½ inch to the left or right. It starts off moving to the left. And when you're talking 75 meters or 50 meters engagement range, that ½ inch leads into 2 or 3 meters by the time it gets to the target. So you're well off. So you have to be stood still. So I'm in an engagement 50 meters away from a target, one-on-one. I've hit center mass. I'm reloading as fast as I can, hoping that this geezer's got my sort of aim with an SMG or something and he can't beat me for range. I go to, like, sort of, what do you call it? Strafe, stride, where you move left and right to try and dodge his bullets. And my gun's swinging like a 12-inch penis. He's just swinging everywhere. And I can't, obviously with time you might be able to account for that or compensate for that. But it still has the lack of power. For a pre-order weapon, you'd have thought that did make him a little bit special, a reason to actually pre-order, and this sniper certainly isn't special enough. It does have major issues. For me, when you take into account its sway and its slow reload and lack of power, those problems are nothing compared to the standard iron sights. Yes, that can, now there's a caveat to that, that can be solved quite easily by swapping to the radium sights. But the standard iron sights are terrible. It's got this little sliver of metal that sticks up in the sort of semicircle sight. And you can't, if you're on a dark map like Neville Knights or some of the other darker maps, or if there's any text in the way whatsoever of your target, you can't see where it's aiming. Or I certainly can't see where it's aiming. I mean, I use a super gaming monitor, which is massive amount of pixels on the screen for such a small area, and I struggle big time with the standard sights. Now, when I switched to the radium sights, it did improve, because obviously you've got that nice little bit of green which stands out from the gun. Does that make up for the other bits? No, it doesn't. And here is the biggest problem of all. The absolute creme de la creme of problems that pretty much guarantees you will never use this weapon. It's competition. If you compare it between the mousy and the smelly or smiley SMLE infantry weapon, there's no comparison. There's a slight, very slight difference in statistics. But the way the SMLE handles, the way it looks, the way you have the sights and the way it handles up close when you're in a one-on-one battle is no comparison. It's completely different. And I get a ton more kills with the SMLE than I ever would with the Mousy. And we're talking same ranges, same type of combat, same situations. And the SMLE beats it every single time. And the SMLE, let's not forget, is a vanilla weapon. I think, if memories, bear in mind I'm thinking about 2 years ago, so I could be wrong on this, it's one of the first weapons you can actually unlock without very much effort at all. It might even be unlocked straight away for you. I can't remember if it was or not, it's 2 years ago. But it's definitely, it's either very little effort to unlock, or it's there and thereabouts. And for the Action Jackson type snipers, the SMLE infantry, or the carbine, especially with the carbine sights, are the best Action Jackson type snipers, you know, where you've got to be in there. There are better longer range snipers, but for the ones that where you're up close, like a single shot scout sort of rifle, I'm thinking about Destiny here, that type of, you know, like Jade Rabbit and things like that, that sort of weapon, then the SMLE beats it hands down. And for me, personally, that kills the Mousy dead and makes the Mousy almost like an afterthought for this pre-order bonus. And it's certainly not worth having in the group. And I think that weapon in particular could have been made a lot more special. They could have added more power, dialed down the sway on it, made the reload quicker, made it certainly worthwhile using. Because right now, it ain't. And it never will be, as far as I'm concerned, especially not when you've got the smiley in there. So that's my thoughts on this. Have you used the Mousy? Did you have any problems with the headshots? Or are you one of these 360 no-scope bro type people that never has a problem with headshots? Have you tried the one-on-one engagements? If you have, get into the comment section and let me know. And while you're there, give Lenny some shit for me, will you?
Not gonna happen.
Oh, very funny. Shut up, you. So that's everything on the Mousy, or the MOSIN Nagant, however the hell you want to say it. Whilst I've got you here, just to remind you, I am giving away a free copy of Battlefield 5 on its release date. A week before the game is due to release, I'm going to pick one of my subscribers and order them a copy. Simple as that. I'm even going to do a video on ordering the copy so that person can see who it is. Obviously I'll let them know beforehand because I'll need to know their address details and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, there's going to be a link at the top at the end of this video to give you more details about that. But I am giving away a free copy of Battlefield 5 to one lucky subscriber as a thank you for all your support. And whilst I'm here, I just want to say a massive thank you for all the lovely comments that are coming from the last video and the previous in all my videos. You guys, the reason why I do this is for you guys. Obviously I love making videos, I love making content. I want to be a professional YouTuber in a year, 2 years, 5 years, however long it takes, but I do it because I love giving you content. I hope this video has been relevant for you, and I hope it's giving you an idea of whether or not you should pick the Mousy. Don't bloody pick it. For the love of God, don't pick it. That's all from me, Mr. B.
And me, Lenny G.
And yes, and Lenny G too. Ta-ta for now.